Hello everybody, Ray Garner with Garner's Games here. We're going back to the Absolute Universe again this week. For something I haven't really done before, because after the first issue, I was really kind of interested to see if the second issue pulled through with some of my theories and some of my ideas of what we were looking at, and kind of fulfilled some of my hopes. So, in a flash here, we're going to get to Absolute Flash number 2. Now, this book, it's not cooperating at the moment. Jeff Lemire is our writer, and Nick Robles is our artist in color, or cover, sorry. So we'll start off with where we left off, which is Wally's hiding off in a cave, being tracked by, I've kind of nicknamed them the Hulkbusters, because that's kind of what they remind me of. Captain Boomerang, who has high-tech boomerangs that tell him what they see and go where he wants. And we have Captain Cold here, going around the caves, blocking off exits and things of that nature. We have the glider. She's here. And they're all basically cornering up Wally. He's trying desperately to get out. And as he's trying to run out, he runs in the glider. She tries to swat him with her, I'm going to call them stun batons. Kind of look closer to lightsabers, to be fair. But his super speed kicks in. And he dodges away from her. As he tries to go after him, the boomerangs form her to stand clear. This is orders from the Captain Cold, who uses his frost gun to freeze Wally's feet. Of course, they're on a mission to capture him. And we have another splash page of him basically demanding that they leave him alone. The lightnings are striking everywhere, and he bursts free. And as he takes off, he's basically back at the experiment, which gave him his powers, with Barry telling him to, take his hand, hold on. And suddenly, as the experiment ends, and his dad comes in, upset at Barry, and starts just beating the dog out of Barry. Until Wally's kind of Speed Force ghost reappears. Barry seems to comprehend kind of what's going on. He's trying to get him to focus and stay there, but Wally tells him to stay away. And all of a sudden, he's back where he is at, and everybody else is in a little bubble. Now, I'm not sure who this character is. I'm sure she's a Flash villain. Either one I'm not familiar with, or one that is so different I'm not getting who she is. But she's the one that creates the little force bubbles, and then puts Wally in one. But Wally's able to get himself out. Probably super speed phases through it. And he takes off running, and Glider goes after him. Now, it's a great little scene here coming up where she's almost there to catch him. She goes, I've never met anything that can outrun, and she stumbles over the word me as Barry is just gone again. And this time, he's off into the time stream once again. He sees back in time to his mom being alive with his dad. He sees this great splash page of two alternate worlds one where he is almost a Speed Force demon villain, and the other one where he is a hero. He ends up, looks like probably at the edge of the desert. And Captain Cold says, I've had enough of this freak show, let him out. And I say, sure you want to do this? He said, we don't have any choice. Get Grodd. And Grodd is substantially different in this universe than the other one. He's kind of a brainy, say chimpanzee, probably more of a straight up actual, monkey. Issue is fairly entertaining. A lot happens. What doesn't happen is a lot of explaining. We're 2 issues into this, and so far, none of this makes any sense. There's no explanation as to why Wally has powers while Barry is dead, why Wally can't control any of his powers, why he's time traveling like crazy all over the place, skipping ahead, skipping backwards. It's a 5-issue story arc to a 6-issue story arc is what most of the Absolutes have been doing. They advertised as 5 originally. They went to 6 on the original 3. I assume that's kind of be the story arc on these, is we're going to go to a 5 or 6 issue. So we're somewhere between 33 and 40% done with the story. And right now we know nothing. We don't know much about what kind of experiments Barry was doing. We don't know why his dad is so obsessed with it, why his dad is so abusive, why his dad has an entire team of, technologically superpowered group going after him, why we did genetic experiments and made Grodd, and why everybody's so afraid of him. There's a whole lot of whys and not a whole lot of, answers for the why questions. So I like the concept of this book. I'm still holding out hope. But this issue is very disappointing in the fact that it doesn't answer really a single question. It just continued on with what happened in the first one. But all we got was, this is a cool fight between as I'm still calling them the Hulkbusters. I'm actually calling them Flashbusters. And Wally, with no explanation as to what's going on with Wally, why he's time skipping around, or why he's even seeing what he's seeing in the time skipping. So hopefully this will straighten out. Hopefully we'll get some explanations in issue 3. Because we only got 3 or 4 issues to go, and we need answers to the basic questions of, why does Wally have these powers? Why is his dad so furious at him? Why is his dad so abusive? And why Mirror Master appeared in the last panel of issue 1 and didn't appear at all in issue 2. Follow through is important, and it needs to happen in the next issue to keep people interested, to keep people going. It's, the weakest of the, Absolute Universe so far. And it doesn't need to be. The supporting characters, the character concepts of Captain Cold and Boomerang and Glider are all really interesting. And the design of the costume for Wally is really neat. And the concept that Barry's not there to help Wally is great. The fact that we don't have any answers on anything outside of cool looking concepts and neat ideas for our villains is hurting this book, and that needs to get fixed. It needs to get fixed soon. Anyway, that's my opinion of Absolute Flash. Don't give up on it yet, but hopefully it's going to turn around soon. Anyway, be back in a flash with another review. See you next week.